I said, come on over, you'll say.
All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. And is it good morning?
Yes, it is.
No, we're 12:05. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Town of Portland podcast. Okay, and with us in the studio is our illustrious first selectman, Mr. Mike Pelton. Hi, Mike. How you doing, buddy?
Good afternoon.
You're looking dapper today.
Dapper?
Yes.
Why, thank you, sir. As do you.
Yes. Okay, fantastic. All right. Again, this is our Town of Portland podcast, and Mike has graciously been keeping up our podcast tradition here at the Town of Portland. So tell us what's happening, Mike.
So today is all about the numbers. It's all about the budget today. So.
Yes.
Yes. So we've spent the last 2.5 months going through budget numbers. We are ready to vote on it this coming Monday, the 12th. So I will go over some of the big numbers that we have for the town.
Sure.
Numbers that are important for people. We had a meeting a couple days ago that we invited anyone in town that wanted to stop by and ask questions. We had twice as many people show up this year. Guess how many people showed up?
5.
We had 5. That is correct.
I was online.
You were right online. So at first I thought that wasn't a good thing, but I realized that I think most people had watched the meetings that we had, had asked questions. So maybe they felt comfortable that they understand the numbers, then they feel good about it, and it's going to be a yes vote.
Sure.
Because we work so hard. But just in case there were people that couldn't come, the other non-5 people, I wanted to make sure I got it covered. So.
Okay, fantastic.
All right.
So you guys have been working hard. And I think we got a good budget. So
I think we really do. We got a good budget, and we went through every line. We went through every department. We had feedback from the town. The long-term capital committee contributed a lot to it. But so I think we did a good job. We went through all the numbers. We feel good about it. But I think a couple things I would probably highlight for people if they've been following it is a couple of the big numbers. So our town government and our Board of Ed work together. And as people know, both organizations do their own budgets, but we have to collectively vote them together. So our total budget for this year is $41.7 million.
Okay.
Of that, 15.8 is town government, and the other 26 is Board of Ed budget. So collectively, that's what we're voting on. The mill rate increase for this year, we've kept it down to 1.0 for mill rate increase. That's just under 3%, about 2.93%.
Okay.
So I'm happy about that. It's not that you compare it to neighbors, but we're, I think, the lowest increase in this area because we've cut everything we could.
Yeah.
And with the government side, last year we did a 0% increase.
Yep.
So this year we need to get some extra money for some of the projects that we have. Sure. And we're able to add that. So our budget increase on our side was 2.6% increase over the year before versus 0% the year before that.
Yeah.
So we're working on it.
Well, that's the thing. In so many other towns, they have the two budgets, and they're voted on separately, and you get into a situation with, I'm okay on this side, but I'm not okay on that side, and it becomes a political football, and it's not good. But,
so we've been watching the political football bounce back and forth with surrounding towns, and I'm really happy we're in Portland.
Yes, no joke.
It is less drama, and I'm glad about that. So
yes. Well, in fact, we had our Exchange Club golf tournament yesterday, and I sat with Ryan Curley, and he says he's running into that same thing over in Berlin. Okay, they have 2 budgets, and one doesn't like this one, and one. I says, that's the.
So I may have seen a gray hair on Ryan. I don't know for sure, but I may have spotted one on his hair, and that could be part of the reason. So.
Yes.
I could be wrong, but I thought I saw that. So
anyway. Excellent. So what are some of the? I know. With capital improvements, I mean that's been an issue for many years, and usually, typically, in budget season, capital improvements are the first things that get cut.
It is, and we're careful about making our equipment last as long as possible. We don't get new trucks every year. We're making everything last as long as it's possible, plus beyond. But one thing that the town does is if Board of Ed needs money for something, we've been there in the past. So this year, for example, things come up, and one of the boilers at Brownstone shut down. They have 2 boilers that keep that running. You need them both. So we were able to find close to $200,000 in order to get that boiler ordered and on the way in time for next season.
Yeah.
Because we need that. So things like that we just need to have
Absolutely.
available. We're able to do that, but they come up, and you need to be prepared for that. So.
Well, and you can only kick the can down the road so many times.
Yes.
And then,
Yes.
And then the can gets rounded.
Yes, it does. Or someone loses the can.
Squared.
No one wants to do that. So, but yes.
For sure. Yeah, I know from that. Brownstone School. That's the oldest building in town as far as school.
Yes, it is.
So
Yes, it is.
anyway, have you been sitting in on the facilities committees?
So I've been watching the meetings. I've tried to avoid them to let them handle it and work it out themselves. But I've been watching every meeting, either as it happens or right after. So the thing I like about what the committee is doing is they're looking at every single number. Mm-hmm. They've inspected the schools. They're going line by line on estimated costs. And ultimately, they're going to have to come back to the Board of Selectmen and present what they're suggesting. And they're almost to that point. I'm hoping to get to that within the next 3 to 4 weeks.
Okay.
And then once they do that, for those that are following it, then it becomes a Board of Education, Board of Selectmen group meeting.
Yeah.
So we can, joint meeting, so we can talk about the details and work it through. We're trying to ultimately get whatever the decision is on the for November for the election. We want a referendum on there.
On the question.
Whatever the question is going to be, whether it's closing X school or Y school, whatever it is, we want that done by then. So we got a lot of work to do, but it's a lot of potential. It's going to be a big number by everyone's measurement.
Oh, for sure.
But there's some reason to be optimistic about it. I think we can come with the solution because as our business base is growing,
yes,
and as we're seeing new business come into town, our tax base is improving, and that may be improving slightly more than the additional cost. So we may be able to shoulder that,
yeah,
and be able to handle whatever bond that we need. So we're still working through the numbers, but I'm feeling cautiously optimistic that we can make that happen, whatever the decision is. But again, we want to make sure we're being smart with the townspeople's money.
Exactly.
So
exactly. Well, town has, a lot of issues. And like I say, you can only kick the can down the road so long.
100%.
For sure. We have our water issues too.
Yes, we do.
That's coming along.
Yes, it's coming along. We're still working on, as you know better than anybody else, we're working on getting the pump test done,
yep,
making sure it works. Then it's diversion permit, and then building a pump house, and then connecting it to our system, and then bringing it down to East Hampton and other towns, and
there we go,
expanding out as far as you want it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we'll have the water to do it, so for sure.
We're still on step one, though.
Yeah, it's still baby steps.
Yeah, baby steps, baby step one, but we're on the way though, so that's good.
The water is trickling.
Yes. Yes.
Fantastic. So what else we got?
So a couple things. I before I came down here, I wanted to think about what was the most relevant happening right now. So a couple things I'm excited about personally. So we just formed a 250 committee,
yep,
which will be celebrating our country's 250th birthday next year. And it is a dynamic, motivated group. They are ready to fundraise. They are ready to do special events next year. So that is off and running. I believe they're coming up on their third meeting on Monday. Other people are welcome to attend the meeting if they want to see what's going on. They'll be at the Senior Center at 6 o'clock this coming Monday. But that I'm excited about for all the events that they're planning.
Sure.
Great idea so far. Farmers markets. We've had them in town in the past.
Yep.
We haven't in a while. That is back. I want to thank Grace Allman for putting together a group of town residents and others that are bringing it back, artisans, farmers, etc. So that will be, I believe, starting in July.
Nice.
More details will come out. I'll post that as well. But that I'm very excited about. It just it's another reason to get together,
sure,
and come to Portland and stay and spend some money. And if you're a crafter or an artisan or a farmer, it's another venue to sell some product and
sure,
and create and grow your business. So
now, what are they thinking as far as frequency?
So they were talking about every 2 weeks, I believe, is what they're looking at.
Okay.
I know there's something going on right now at Brainerd Place. They're trying to do some kind of food truck event starting in a week or two. Well, they'll do that on a weekly basis. So I think as long as there's regularity, I think that's good. I know a lot of farmers markets do it every week, starting from maybe early July through whatever October. So they're talking about that right now.
Okay.
So if someone's out there listening and watching and they want to do something with that, reach out to me. I'll put you in touch with the group, and I'm sure they'd love to see what you can do with that. So
many man's hands make light work.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, and then we've got the Brownstone Exploration Park. They have 4 days of the during the season when Portland residents go free. One's coming up Sunday, May 25th.
Yeah.
So that's the day. So if you're a Portland resident, go on down. The water may not be as warm as August or September, but it's still worth going to.
It's okay.
It's okay.
That's okay.
We have 3 other dates: June 16th, August 4th, and believe Saturday, September 6th are the
Yes.
dates. So other dates on there. They want to know, they can just reach out to the town. We'll help them out with that.
Yeah, I've been trying to pin Sean down to come up and do a podcast and so forth.
I will drag him up myself.
Okay.
I will get him up here.
All right, fantastic.
Absolutely.
You do that.
I'll work on
That's
that.
your charge.
I can handle that. I can
Okay,
do that.
fantastic.
Let's see what else. Starbucks had the grand opening about a week or so ago.
Yes.
That was fantastic. Ribbon cutting, a lot of people there.
Yeah,
It was a
great.
fun event. I know Concentric was there providing beverages
Yeah.
as well. So that was a fun event. Tomorrow, townwide tag sale.
Yes.
So all those people that have things they want to sell, it's probably too late to do it unofficially, because you shouldn't do that. You should have been signed up by now.
Yeah,
But there will be a ton of people in town.
They delivered my stick this morning.
They really very
So
nice.
I have my stick and balloon.
So I have one caveat though. It starts at 8:30. Do not stop by anyone's house before 8:30. We don't be that kind of person.
Yeah,
tag selling.
the
to us.
early birders.
Don't be
is
the early bird.
Yeah,
Don't be
no.
the early bird.
No, we're going to be doing vinyl here at Connecticut Valley, so we're selling vinyl.
Very
So,
nice. I
which
like
is
that. I like that. What else? Two other things. Jimmy Lynch, longtime
Yes.
Portland resident, longtime Portland employee of the town, worked and put heart and soul for 38 years into the town. Just retired about a week or so ago.
Yep.
I reached out to him yesterday just to say, how's retirement going? And it is not going bad at all.
No,
he
he's
is enjoying it so far. Yes.
I stopped in, and he works out in his garage. He has a stationary bike, and he does a lot of bike rides and running and so forth. And he's loving it.
Yeah.
So which is good.
Yeah. He's not unhappy.
No, not at all. Not at
So
all.
listen, the guys that he left behind, they are handling it. They're working hard. They miss him.
Yeah.
But they're doing a good job. And he'd be proud of how his guys are doing.
Yeah, Kevin's
So,
doing a good job.
absolutely. And then two other things. Of course, Portland is the golf capital of Connecticut. Of course it is. Whether it's unofficial now or soon to be official, but we rock with that.
Yeah, well, I made that announcement yesterday at the Exchange Club golf tournament.
Thank you very much.
So
Thank you very much.
we had our Town Tech booth at the golf tournament. We always have for, oh God, for how many years that I've been doing this? But we raised $400.
Nice.
Okay, out on the hole. Okay,
Very nice.
and basically the way that works on the fourth hole, it's a par 3. You can wager up to $5 if you get it on the green. Okay, we double your money. If you don't get it on the green, thanks for the donation. And most everybody was gracious and thanks. They keep the
I love
money. It was great. It was
That-
great.
that's fantastic.
Next year we got to get you out there.
I will so swing as hard as I can.
Okay.
It will not land anywhere close, but I'll try it.
That's all
I
right.
got this. I got this. What could go wrong?
Yeah, that way you get your money worth out of the course.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Fantastic. Starbucks is going great. Morgan and I are frequent flyers down there every day. So which is good.
Yes.
Fantastic. She calls it Starbies.
Starbies. I like that.
Anyway, that's great. So how's the dojo going?
So it's doing well. So I still teach on Saturdays because I just love it too much, and I have a lot of kids there that I've seen them grow up. But during the weekdays, I have some great black belts, my students that are taking the classes. Grandmaster Cordone, he is still taking care of that stuff and doing a great job. And I hear from them often. If they see me out, they're doing great. But yeah, it's good to see these kids grow up.
Yeah, I saw Arlene and Sensei. He's a frequent flyer over at Millillies.
Mrs. Sensei, huh? You
Yeah,
saw
Mrs. Sensei. And of course, he grew up, we all grew up on Perry Avenue. He lived right across the street and so forth. And his daughter Jen and my daughter Sarah used to play all the time and so forth. And it was great, But he's doing well. He's doing well. And I don't know, has he had the Grandmaster over here at all? I know he used to bring over.
So Izu Shimabukuro, his grandmaster, used to come over from Okinawa for many years. I think the last time he came over might have been 13 or 14.
Yeah.
It was quite a while. So he hasn't. He's passed on since then. And I think his son has taken over.
Okay.
But he has a very tight connection with that group from back then. So yeah.
Oh, he used to stay at the house.
Did he really?
He used to stay at Nick's house on Perry Avenue when he had the Grandmaster there. So it was,
I love that tradition.
Oh God,
I really do.
Well, it is what it is. He's great. He's an awesome person. Fantastic.
Absolutely, no question about it.
Okay, I think moving on. Nordic Spa. What's happening?
So Nordic Spa. So this is an interesting one. I'll tell you a 30-second story. So with all the things happening nationally, I focused everything on Portland, but the Nordic Spa has been slowed down a little bit over the last couple of weeks with the whole issue of tariffs and all,
Oh.
which is kind of interesting because you don't know how much things are going to affect the town. I've seen that issue affect grant money to local agencies. Chatham Health has had grant money slowed down or stopped or whatever. But they are now in the process of sourcing additional suppliers in the U.S. for some of the projects. Now, they're a Canadian company, so they had a little more headwind to do that. But everything still looks good. They're still coming here. But that was one of those glitches that you just don't anticipate on any new project. But they're raring to go. They're probably going to end up spending closer to $50 million on the project by the time they're done with everything. But they're excited to be in Portland.
Okay.
We're working on cleaning up down there as well, Brownstone Avenue, make it look even better. And,
Sure.
Excited about that.
Yeah, the tariffs are, I know they're affecting me here, as far as, just the price of things that that are coming over. And the supply chain has been struggling a little bit, but hopefully we'll get this behind us.
Absolutely, get to work. That's what we all want to do.
There you go. Fantastic. So go from there. All right. We got just a shout out to Sarah Rutter. Steri Rutter. She's working on the Memorial Day Parade.
Yes.
And getting that together. So if anybody wants to get involved in that, reach out to Sarah. And that'll be a great event.
Absolutely, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's already parade time.
Yeah, for sure.
Flying by.
For sure, and now that and just so everybody knows that the water is over the fairgrounds or on 17, so don't go trying to drive through it.
Now, what are the odds that someone's going to try to do it anyways?
They always do. You can't fix stupid.
You can't fix stupid. No, you can't. You can't. Nothing works. Nothing works. So.
Excellent. So anyway, we got the budget. We got everything happening.
Yes.
Any other updates that you want to cover?
That's all I had. I mean, we have a couple projects that we're working to get access to the river.
Okay.
So I guess one project I would say is behind where Tilcon is, where the baseball field used to be.
Yeah.
We're at the stage now where we're going to be marking up the road, moving the fence, and starting to work on getting access to the road there. That'll be the first place in Portland that a resident can get access to the river. Hopefully by the end of the year.
Oh, that'd be good.
I
know Rick Shar and Lou Perry have
been they've been itching to do that. I think Rick might have been out there yesterday. I'm going out there right after this to walk it and mark it up and stuff. So
nice.
But yeah. So I'm excited about that. That one I'm personally excited about, just to see Rick and Lou get happy. They so deserve this.
Rick and Lou are avid kayakers, so we got to get it placed that we can get it. In the river and so forth. So he's been, they've been working on that project a long time.
A long time, absolutely.
So anyway, all right, Mr. Mike Pelton is here in the house.
All right.
Okay, live and in the flesh. So,
right.
Michael, thank you so much for coming down and keeping us updated on all that's happening in the town of Portland. And we want to do a shout out to all the moms out there. Happy Mother's Day.
That's right. Happy Mother's Day. Absolutely.
Yes. So for all the moms, and I there was of course. Now that I'm retired, I get up to watch Good Morning America. So you get to, they have the Mom's Day, presents. Mother came out. We're all good on bathrobes. We're all good.
Nope. I don't want scented
Slippers.
candles. I don't want bubble bath stuff. So listen, Mother's Days and birthdays, you never, ever, ever mess those up. Ever.
No,
ever.
No, because that can come back to haunt you. The old saying, happy life, happy life.
Exactly.
Whatever. So, Mikey, thanks so much. All
Dave,
right.
always a pleasure.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is this episode of the Town of Portland podcast, live here at the Connecticut Valley School of Music Studios. I'm your host, Dave Kuzminski, with Mike, and that is all.
And I said, come over,